Dear participants, there is a technical issue. We will just come back in another 1 or 2 minutes. Sorry for the inconvenience. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello? Hello? Is it audible?
Yes, sir. We can hear it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir,
sir.
there is
Now it is audible,
network
sir.
issues, I think, sir. Hello? Huh?
ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆನಾ ಈ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ
ಕೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು
ಆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ. Yeah. Yeah, is it? Yeah, you can see the slide.
Yes, sir. It is audible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it? You can see the slide.
Yes, sir. We can see, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir. We can see it, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir. It is audible, but the mic is again and again it is muted, sir. Repeatedly, it is getting muted, sir. Hello. Hello. Sudesh. ಅದು mic problem.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you see it now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry for the internet problem, friends. So I'll come back
It's
to you
okay, sir.
again. So I was discussing about cognitive science, and now come back to what is the mind concept. Hello, is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. You know, as I told you in the beginning, you know, when the woman
Please,
body,
Please
woman,
maximize the screen, sir.
woman brain, whatever it thinks, that is called as a mind concept. There are different definitions for the mind. You know, like a scientist called Franklin. he defines a mind as a mechanism of the brain. Similarly,
Hello, sir.
one of
Excuse me,
the
sir.
popular scientists in the field of AI is called Marvin Minsky from the MIT Media Lab. He says that minds are just what brains do. Yeah, yeah. Hello, is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is audible.
Audible?
Sir. Please proceed, sir. Yes, sir. It is audible, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. It is audible, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. It is audible, sir. It is audible.
Sir, yes, sir. It is audible, sir.
Sir, you can proceed, sir. Proceed. No problem.
Yeah. Main artificial means a man-made product that imitates like a natural product, such as like like a behavior of animal or a behavior of a robot or behavior of a person that will be imitated through the artificial behaviors. That is called as artificial minds. See, like our mind thinks in different dimensions. We have a lot of diversions in our mind. Like our mind thinks to find the answers and get the inspiration from that, and mind want to solve the problems, and mind want to remember it, memory power, understanding, productivity, communication, learning. So many innovations, so many things are diverged in our mind. So what artificial intelligence scientists want to do is they want to utilize what are the best things in our mind can do that can be imitated, and it can be feeded in our machines so that the machines can do what we think. That's why the mind concept has been arrived. There is one more concept called cognitive architectures. Dear friends, as I told, cognition is a mental process or activity that involves the acquisition, storage, and retrieval of our knowledge. Like what we think, what we remember, what we learn, what we solve, all these things are called cognitive tasks. So the AI people want to develop these cognitive tasks as architectures. That's why the cognitive architecture concept has been arrived. What cognitive architectures will do is designed to be capable of performing certain behaviors, functions, based on our understanding of human, animals, and robotic minds. These important issues in cognitive architectures, including the task effectiveness, achieving the goal, ability to perform the well in novel association. These are the main intention of developing a cognitive architectures. See, the cognitive architectures, we can say that these are like blueprints of any robot. Blueprint. Without blueprint, you can't develop a mission. So these are called cognitive architectures. With these cognitive architectures, you will develop your missions. So there are different cognitive architectures. I just want to give some few brief about it. There is a model called ACTOR, Adaptive Control Thought Rational. This architecture has been developed by Anderson in the year of 1973. The main mechanism is to develop a production system. Production systems, like your expert systems again. The main purpose is to demonstrate, understand especially human skills. That is called Adaptive Control Thought Rational Architecture. There is one more cognitive model called SOAR, State, Operator, and Result. This has been developed by Alan Newell Shaw in the year of 1980. This main mechanism is to develop a production systems again, and chunking mechanism. The chunking is nothing but storage of data, that is called chunk. The main purpose is learning, reasoning, and decision making. That also be for the human level they develop. There is one more architecture called EM1 architecture. It's very important architecture in the field of artificial intelligence. The Pushpinder Singh, he developed mechanism called common sense thinking and reflective reasoning. He demonstrates with the one table building mechanism, showing how the machines can demonstrate a common sense like human beings. There are architectures called CRIB. CRIB is called Children Reasoning, Intention, Beliefs, and Behavior. This has been developed by the scientist called Walla and Skoda in the year of 2000. The main intention is to reason like a 5-year-old child. This is the architecture model. They use a model called BDI models. BDA stands for belief, desire, intentions. The next architecture called COGAP. COGAP is cognitive and affective architecture. This architecture has been developed by Aroho Sloman from the University of Birmingham in the year of 2001. The main intention of this architecture is the generic purpose that demonstrates humans, animals, and as well as machine minds. The next model, ACRIP, that has been developed by Davis and Lewis in the year of 2004. So this is Davis is my guide, my PhD guide. He was my PhD guide, and he updated CRIP values through the consisting mechanism for the effective CRIP model. And the next model is Campbell model, which demonstrates belief, desire, intentions again for the artificial mind. Any question, madam? Any question? The next architecture model is Society of Mind Cognitive Architecture model, which has been developed by me and my guide in the year of 2007. The main mechanism is we adapted, artificial minds and adding meta control and meta cognition mechanisms. I will tell you what is this later on. This is one of the important architecture called emotional one cognitive architecture. This has been developed by an Indian called Pushpendra Singh. He did his research in the MIT Media Lab in the 2005 on common sense reasoning. He has been he finalized his thesis in the year of 2007, as well as unfortunately died in the year of 2008 again. But his name is very popular in the field of artificial intelligence. You can go to MIT Media Lab. There you can see Singh's lab in MIT Media Lab. That is called Artificial Intelligence Lab in Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA. The next architecture model I just want to explain about this. This is one of the very complex architecture which I developed myself, and there are 6 layers which we extended for this. The layers are like a blueprint of the cognitive model. There are layers called reflexive, reactive, deliberative, swarm layer, and meta learning layer, where each layer has different agents again, where each can demonstrate different skills, different behaviors, goal task, as well as ambient environment architectures. This is a model. And I'll come back to what is this, how this artificial intelligence can be demonstrated in different concepts. Okay, this is called, I'm going for the psychology again. Before any artificial intelligence program, what the scientists will do, they will understand the different behaviors of human as well as animals actually. So once they understand the human and animal behaviors, they will try to adapt these behaviors in their programming, so that can do efficient model. Like this, there are important models called cost and utility function. What he says, in the animal psychology, he says animals also works for the economical level. That is called microeconomic level, where they will think before act. They'll think before act and see that they want to behave economically also. That is called cost and utility function. And the next concept called optimal behavior. What animal psychologist says that the animals also will behave optimally, where whenever they come for one decision, they will choose the best one among this. They say animal behavior is straight up between the later native courses of action. The animals engage with activities, optimize the pattern of behavior with respect to the use of energy and time. If the conditions are relevant to 2 or more activities simultaneously, the animal chooses the best action among them. That is called optimal behavior. Example, he says the pigeons that are both thirsty and hungry are placed in a situation where they search for food or water. In case of optimal decision, the pigeon will take whichever is needy. For example, if it's very thirsty, obviously it takes water. If very hunger, they'll go for food actually. So this is called optimal behavior in animal minds. So we will going to adapt these concepts in our robotic areas, and we will adapt in artificial intelligence field also. Or the next concept in artificial intelligence is called decision making based on the variables. He says it's again, it belongs to animal psychology again. We're going to adapt the concept in the field of artificial intelligence. He says the decision of a robot, a person or animal depends on their decision variable, internal condition. The decision making activity follows the microeconomic level. That again he says cost and utility function. For example, he says a bricklaying robot uses the stored energy for building a bricks. The robot is monitored by a sensor to manage and to watch the energy level. If the energy level becomes zero, obviously the robot will be, that will not be there. So that the robot has to manage the energy level, and then they have to go for the building a bricks. Again, the author called McFarland, they are all animal psychologists. They say in animal behavior sometimes risk of death must be nearer variable, is a nearer boundary. It is dangerous to allow the hunger condition level if the food is not supplied or not guaranteed. He says if the animal is in nearer boundary condition, in the sense almost in the death condition, obviously the food has to be given. So like similarly, like in our mobile also same thing. Once the mobile comes zero battery, so that you can't do anything with the mobile afterwards. So similarly, either in the animal or either in the robot, the energy level must be managed in the optimally. That is called decision making based on the energy level or variables. This is one concept in the field of artificial intelligence. And I'll come to the architecture called Marvin-Minsky architecture. As I told you, Marvin Minsky is a popular scientist in the field of artificial intelligence. He is from MIT Media Lab. Even Pushpinder Singh also studied along with him, along with the Minsky. Minsky has given a lot of concept for artificial intelligence. You can go through in the Google, you will get a lot of architectures, lot of models of Marvin Minsky in the field of artificial intelligence. He is also one among the pioneers in the field of AI. Minsky suggests that he can have a B, and C brain. The outer world is the lowest brain, and the outer world will be managed by the A brain. That will supervise the outer world. That is called A brain. And he says there is one more B brain where it can monitor the A brain, so that the efficiency of the architecture will be more, and you will get optimal solutions. That is called Marvin Minsky's A, B, and C brain in the field of artificial intelligence. You can go through in the Google, you will get it. And I'll come back to the concept of cognition and metacognition concept. Dear friends, as I told you, cognition is a mental process or activity that involves the acquisition, storage, and retrieval of our knowledge. For example, we will think, that is a cognition again. We will memorize, that is a cognition task. We will reason, that is a cognition task. Right? Like, see, most of the things, what will happen in our brain, all mechanisms are called cognition. And there is a concept called metacognition in the field of artificial intelligence and cognitive architectures. Metacognition is like Marvin Minsky's A, B, and C brain. He says thinking about thinking. But whenever you're thinking, you think about it, what you're thinking again. So this concept can be applied in different areas, like problem solving through computation model, education field, and human problem solving, etc. See, when it comes to the education field, how this metacognition can be applied. Again, the metacognition is a concept of artificial intelligence. Maybe these are the buzzwords, new words you are hearing now, but it is the field of artificial intelligence. The concepts are very old. See, for example, the metacognition strategies. For example, a student wants to get a good marks. So he has to have so many strategies. That is called, he has to think, what is my goal? How I am motivated from this? What to do? I already know about the topic. What strategies studying strategies works best for me to write an essay exam? How much time I'll spend on the studies? See, all these are strategies which will think to get the good mark. They say these thinkings are called metacognition concepts in the cognitive sciences. Now come to the agents. Might be you all heard about agents. As I told you, artificial mind is nothing but a blueprint of a artificial intelligence concept. Okay, so this mind can be viewed as a control structure for autonomous software agents. This mind can be a collection of software agents. That's what. Any cognitive or computational model can be viewed either a single agent or large collection of agents. Whenever we build a architecture or model or robotic equipment, we will always collect a lot of programs together. A software collection of software agents, which has a lot of intelligence with this. So many scientists, like I given so many scientists names. You can go through in the Google each and every one name. Definitely you can see the broader view of artificial intelligence, how they developed in different areas. For example, Selfridge, John McCarthy, Alan Newell and Herbert Simon, Marvin Minsky, Fodor, Boss, Bruce Cloney, Anderson, Franklin, Sloman, Daryl N. Davis, Pushpinder Singh, and myself, Vijay Kumar. We all already viewed all architectures as a single or large collection of agents. That's what we develop. Whenever you want to develop an artificial agent concept, we will use a concept called agent. Agent, what is the agent again? The agent is a simple program which can do a small task. That is agent again. Which can do small task, or it can do the complex task also. That is called as agent. There are different agents will available in artificial intelligence concept. There are different. If I given only a few of them, which will do different tasks. For example, a reactive agent, it senses and acts in the environment through the timely fashion. The autonomous agent, it can control exercise over the actions. Goal-oriented agents, it can do the goal purpose. Temporarily continuous agents, which are running, they are called running agents again. And communicative agents are social interaction and communication with other agents, they are called communicative agents. And there is a learning agent, which changes the behavior based on the previous experience. There are the concept called mobile agents. Agents can transport from one mission to another mission. They are called as mobile robots, mobile agents. Again, when it comes to the architecture of a simple agents, for example, a reflexive agent, which are very simple actions, like like your mouse, it can run. Wherever there is a food, that collects. That is, they are called as reflexive agents. There are different parameters we kept it inside. We coded in the programming also. So this is the code which is written for the reflexive agent, where the demonstration is also available. How they will work in the artificial environment. And they are called reactive agents. The reactive agents are a purposeful agent, where whichever they have particular goal, they will collect the same one. They will not work randomly. They are called reactive agents. Unlike this, the last one, the deliberative agent. A deliberative agents are mixture of both reactive and reflexive agents, which are they know where the food is available, where the energy is available, where the goal is available, and they will move the shortest path and they will collect the goals. They are called deliberative agents. There is one more concept called society of mind. This is again developed by Marvin Minsky in the year of 1970 at MIT Media Lab. He says every mind is a society of mind. The mind consists of a diversity of mechanisms. And Minsky also proposes mind is made up of simple and small agents called microagents. You can see the number of agents, how they are. They are collected each other together. And even though an agent will do a simple task, when it comes to the architecture, the same mind concept, it makes more complex actually. Minsky argued that each agent is a simple piece of code and can do simple work in artificial intelligence. And there is one more concept called, swarm intelligence. He says that the swarm intelligence is nothing but collective behavior. I think you already heard about swarm intelligence in the field of artificial intelligence. The productivity of the group should be superior than the addition of the performance by the individual. He says in the group, productivity will be more compared to individual. That is called swarm intelligence. Even this can be adapted in the field of artificial intelligence again. For example, you can use a lot of examples for the swarm intelligence. For example, how these birds will flow. When the birds will flow, definitely they will go in the same direction. So they are all swarm. They are swarm intelligence. For example, honeybees, they are all in the group together. They are in the group together and build the net so that the performance will be more. That is called swarm intelligence. So you can go through in the field of artificial intelligence, go to the Google, and you can do a lot of research in the field of swarm intelligence also. For example, my PhD student, almost 7 students have been completed PhD under me, and 4 is going on. The 7 are done in different fields of artificial intelligence. For example, one has done on society of mind, the other one has swarm intelligence, optimal behavior, diversity of mind, common sense and consciousness. So all these are PhD topics actually. There is a larger scope in the field of artificial intelligence to do a research. There is some more. You can make inventions in the field of AI. See, and one more concept called ambient intelligence. In the ambient intelligence is nothing but you creating an intelligence in the surface itself. They are called ambient, where you can use the sensors, reasoning, human-computer interaction, secure networks. All this together, you can work together for the ambient intelligence. Come to the definition of a robot. Until now, what we discussed, all the theoretical concept which can be adapted in the field of artificial intelligence and in the field of robotics. Come to the definition of what is a robot. The robot word, means it's a Czech word. The robot means a worker or servant. This word has been coined by Karel Capek in the year of 1920 by title Rosen's Universal Robots. To say the definition of a robot, I think already Dr. T.C. Manjunath has discussed a huge about robotic way. A robot is a reprogrammable, multifunctional manipulator designed to move materials, parts, tools, or specialized devices through variable program motion for the performance variety of tasks. See, the robot means it can do a simple work, or else it can be a complex work. But these are theoretical definition. It says reprogrammable, multifunctional manipulator. The next concept called humanoid robots. Humanoid robot is a robot that is based on the general structure of human. Looks like a human, which has 2 legs, and robot has 2 arms and a head. A humanoid robot does not necessarily look convincingly like a real person. For example, Asimo humanoid robot is a robot Asimo. It has a helmet instead of a face. The robot does not have face; they have helmet. Okay, but it has some work functioning. For example, it can step like a human being. The Asimo robot. You can go through in the Google. If you give an Asimo in the company called Honda, they have prepared the Asimo robot. You can go through in the Google. You will get all the information for this. And next concept, machine learning. The machine learning and is a part of artificial intelligence. I can say is a part of artificial intelligence where how the machines can learn themselves. For example, you can go to Google and see that your sperm males are separated very clearly. The reason is the machine program can understand which is relevant emails, which is not relevant mails for you, and it can extract from your email. So that is one simple program which does machine learning concept. There are a lot of things a machine learning can do. It can extract the data, it can learn tasks, it can create software that improves over the time. Once if you create the software in the Google, the software itself creates one more software. That is the concept of machine learning. The software will learn which is relevant to them and they will program again. That is the concept of machine learning. The goal of machine learning is to present the key algorithms and theory, the form core of machine learning. The machine learning draws on the concept of results in many fields, including statistics, artificial intelligence, philosophy, information theory, biology, cognitive science, computational complexity, and control theory. See, in most of the fields now, the AI and ML will be applied. You take any engineering field without AI and ML, there is no engineering field at all. Even that will be AI and ML will be used in the field of management also, to manage the resources, to manage the people. So all these AI programs are now required. The best way to learn about machine learning is to view it from all the perspectives and understand the problem settings, algorithms, and assumptions underlie each. When you want to learn machine learning, where human expertise does not exist, that is one field. Women are unable to explain their expertise. For example, speech recognition is a field of machine learning again. Solution changes in time, routing on a computer network. Solution needs to be adapted to particular cases. For example, biometrics, where the machine has to learn. The learning involves general model from data, because the data is cheap and abundant. Knowledge is expensive and scarce. Customer transaction to computer behavior, build a model that is good and useful approximation to the data where the learning involves. These are the applications of machine learning. The machine learning can be used, applied in the speech and handwriting recognition, autonomous robot control, data mining and bioinformatics, playing games, fault detection, clinical diagnosis, spam email detection, credit scoring, fraud detection, web mining, search engines, market basket analysis. You can say most of the areas the machine learning will be applied at present scenario. There is one interesting concept, why a machine should look like a woman, look like a robot. We can see many humanoid robots who look like a human being. Actually, not necessary, because the functioning is important rather than appearing like a human being for robots, especially. But there are some scientists who have made a lot of research on this. Why the robot should look like a human being? And he says, Rodney Brooks, he says, our bodies are critical to the representation that we use for internal thought and language. If the robot is look like a human, then it will be natural for humans to interact with it in a human-like way. If you see a robot like a human being, you feel very natural to interact with them, rather than seeing like a dog or cat. If you see different shapes, obviously you feel something in mind for interacting with a robot. So that the scientist thought the humanoid robot should look like a woman again, to develop similar task constraints for the robots. As I told you, there is a robot called Asimo developed by Honda. There is a lot of Asimo robot will do a lot of works. They are working along with the coordination. For example, charting a route, recognizing moving objects, distinguishing the sounds, recognizing the faces and gestures. For all these talks, the Honda Asimo robot will work on coordinates. The same thing, recognition of moving objects, recognition of postures and gestures, environment recognition, recognizing the sound, spatial recognition. See, all this Honda Asimo robot will does. in the applications of AI, there are a lot of applications already developed. I want to just give few of them how this AI has been applied. For example, Qatar is a one as a Qatar project has staged the world's first ever camel race with robot jockeys. This has taken place in the year of July 2005, July 2005, place called Doha in the Qatar. They made a camel race with robot jockeys. And there are a lot of robots you can see. Most of the fields, the robots are there. You take any field, especially in the medical field, the 90% of the works will be done by the robots. You take any surgery, robotic surgery is there. Not only in the medical field, in industries, even industries, most of the things the robots will build. You can see, nowadays even the house building will be done by some machines, not like human beings like previously. So in future, most of the works will be replaced by the robots. There is you know 20 years again this can happen. That's what there is a welding robot for doing the repetitive jobs that are boring, stressful, or labor intensive for human beings. And there is a robot called Kismet, a robot with rudimentary social skills, which can act with you. They can interact with you socially. And there is a robot called Topio, a robot that can play table tennis along with you. That is developed by a project called Tosi. There are robots in most of the areas, as I told you. Even in service and entertainment field, also robots will be there. For example, there is a robot called ISAC, leading a physically charged individual center for the intelligence systems in the Vanderbilt University. And there is a robot called Minerva, faced with happy expression, a popular tour guide at the Smithsonian National Museum at American History. So they are called as entertainment robots. As I told you, in the SIMO uses sensors and intelligent algorithms to avoid obstacles and navigate the stage. And there is a robot called humanoid robots are also surfacing the entertainment industry. For example, Ursula is a remote controlled full-size robot that walks, talks, dance, plays, and music and more. And there is a robot, Android robot called Replic U2. Hello, is it audible? Hello, Madhya sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is audible, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Yes. Right.
Sir, please do the slideshow, sir.
Yeah, is it now I'm doing slides, am I right?
Yes, sir. PPT is visible, but it's not in the slideshow mode, sir.
There are robot called Ripley, which can look like human being again. That has been developed very recently, for even the facial expressions, the face look like, hair color, the most of the things, they look like human being. And there are robots which are developed in different purposes. As I told you again, some more robots I want to introduce. Like for example, fighting robots, climbing ladders robots, search for bombs. The robot will search for a bomb and race across the battlefield. In the future, most of them, even military, they uses the army. They uses the robots for different purposes. For example, search for the bombs and race across the battlefield. So the technology will replace, even army field also. Hopefully, even in US nowadays they are using more technology rather than the army members. And you can see the fighting robot they call Sapir. This is called fighting robot, which fighters. For example, DARPA's robot capable of responding dangerous situation and assisting with the disaster response. This can be used for the disaster management. And I want to show some robots which we developed in our centers. You know, Madheswami, I want to show the video. So where I can go there?
Sir, just open that video, sir.
1 second.
Sir, after opening the video, just do not play it. Just present the screen and then play it, sir.
See, this is the robot which I developed in Ambedkar Institute of Technology in the year of 2017-16, which is called Remote Control System for Power Tiller Demonstration Robot, which has been sponsored by VGST Government of Karnataka. So just want to play how this remote controlled AgriBot work, so that you will get some ideas how the robots can be developed using the sensors.
So video is not visible, sir. Yeah. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello?
Hello. Sir, video is not visible, sir, actually.
Huh?
Video you are playing is not visible, sir.
Not visible, huh?
No, sir.
Now?
No, sir. It is not visible, sir.
1 second. I'll share it properly. No. Now?
No, sir, it is not visible.
Madheswami, is it visible now?
No, sir. No, sir.
1 second. Is it visible now? Madhyasam, is it visible?
No, sir. No, sir. It's not visible, sir.
Then Windows Media Player you can play them, right?
Yes, sir. You can play, sir.
But why they are not visible now? I'm sharing properly, but still it's not coming.
Just play there. Sir. Just play there only. Sir.
Not visible?
No, sir. No, sir. It's not visible, sir.
No, I'm trying my whole best. But window. Now,
No, sir.
can you see the robots?
No, sir. It is some black screen is coming, sir. That's it.
Huh?
So only sound is we are hearing, sir, but we are not hearing any picture or anything. We are not able to see. Only sound is visible, sir.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
ಹಲೋ ಮಾಧುಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸರ್.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ, ಅದು ನೆಟ್ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. 1 second, he will come back. 1 second.
ಹಾ.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
So hopefully the videos are not able to present.
It's okay sir, it's okay, no
It's
problem.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, my friends. Today we'll wind up today's session. You have any questions, you can have it. You can have.
Dear participants, if there are any questions, please raise. Sir, we are going to clarify. If there are any questions, you can share in the chat section also.
Yeah.
You can share it in the chat section, or you can unmute and you can talk.
Okay sir, I think there are no questions.
That's fine.
Thank
Then we'll end up today's session. Tomorrow we'll have it again.
Yes sir, I thank all the participants for their active participation. I thank today's resource person, Dr. M.V. Vijay Kumar sir, for being a resource person for today's FDP. Tomorrow at the sharp 10:30 we will be continuing the FDP, and the attendance link will be provided in. Will also be shared in the groups. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you.